My family always seemed perfect, like a picture from a magazine. But I always felt a quiet hum of something hidden beneath the surface. Little things, strange silences, old photographs that never quite made sense. It was a feeling that sat heavy in my stomach, a whisper of a past I didn't know, a past that felt unsettling. Then my parents died, so close together. The grief was immense, a heavy blanket. But with their passing, the quiet hum grew louder. It was like a key turning in a locked door. I knew then I had to look, to finally understand those whispers. Their old study, once forbidden, now called to me with an undeniable pull. I started going through their things, old papers, ledgers, letters. It was slow work. I found entries about money, large sums, moved around oddly. There were mentions of a settlement and a date from decades ago, a time when our family fortune seemed to change overnight. My heart pounded. These weren't just whispers anymore. These were clues to something big, something dark. I felt overwhelmed by what I was finding. I needed to talk to someone who shared our history. I called Liam. He was my brother, my only sibling. I trusted him. I told him about the odd financial records, the hints of a past crime. I saw his face change, a flicker of something I couldn't quite place, but he listened, or seemed to. Liam tried to calm me. He said it was just grief, my imagination working overtime. He suggested I was seeing things that weren't there, making connections that didn't exist. He spoke softly, kindly, but his words felt like a cold hand on my heart. He made me question myself, made me feel a little crazy. But deep down, I knew what I had seen. I went back to my study a few days later, after Liam had visited. I was looking for a specific old photograph, a picture of our parents from that same problematic decade. It was crucial to my timeline. I had left it right on top of my research pile, but it was gone, vanished. I searched everywhere, my pulse quickening. A cold dread settled over me. It wasn't just misplaced. Later that week, Aunt Carol called. Her voice was too sweet, too concerned. She mentioned Liam had spoken to her, worried about my state of mind after our parents' death. He told her I was becoming obsessed with old family matters. My stomach twisted. He wasn't just dismissing me. He was poisoning the well, making me out to be unbalanced to our relatives. I found a new document in my research pile. It looked important, an old newspaper clipping about a different, unrelated local scandal. It seemed to fit the timeline, a red herring. I spent 2 precious days chasing down this false lead, digging through archives, only to find it led nowhere. It was a dead end, a waste of my valuable time. Someone had put it there on purpose. The missing photo, Aunt Carol's call, this planted false clue. It all clicked into place with a sickening certainty. Liam wasn't just worried or dismissive. He was actively, maliciously working against me. My own brother, the one I trusted, was trying to stop me. The realization hit me like a physical blow. The betrayal was sharp, painful, and deeply chilling. He was protecting something. My trust in Liam shattered into 1,000 pieces. I knew then that I could not confide in anyone else. This fight was mine alone. It would be a dangerous, lonely road, but I could not stop. The truth had to come out no matter the cost. I would work in absolute secrecy, meticulously, and uncover everything. My resolve solidified. I would not be silenced, not by my brother, not by anyone. The feeling of being watched, of being judged, grew stronger. Relatives called, their voices laced with polite concern. "Are you sleeping, dear?" Or Liam mentioned you've been quite stressed. Each call felt like a tiny pinprick, reminding me that Liam had already painted a picture of me for them. I felt a cold sense of isolation settling in, a deliberate wall built around me by my own brother. I went back to my research, needing to anchor myself in facts. I had carefully filed away an old bank statement, showing a huge, unexplained transfer. But when I pulled the folder, the statement was gone. In its place was a blank sheet of paper. My heart hammered. Then I found an old diary I'd been deciphering, a page neatly ripped out, the one I suspected held the key to a specific date. Liam was not just gaslighting me, he was actively destroying my truth. I decided I had to try legal channels. I compiled what I had, the remaining fragments of evidence, and made an appointment with a lawyer. He listened politely, but his eyes held a subtle skepticism. "These claims are quite serious," he said, "and without more concrete, untainted evidence, it would be a difficult case." I knew then. Liam had reached them too, discrediting me before I even stepped through the door. The legal path was blocked, sealed shut by my brother's lies. Despair threatened to swallow me whole, but I pushed through. I went back to the house, to the oldest parts of it, following a hunch. In the dusty attic behind a loose floorboard, I found it, a hidden box. Inside, there were newspaper clippings from decades ago, police reports, and letters from a family I didn't know. They detailed a monstrous financial fraud, a crime our parents had committed, ruining lives. The names, the dates, the sheer scale of the devastation, it was all there. My breath caught in my throat. Among those horrifying documents, I found something else. A letter, recent, addressed to Liam. It spoke of maintaining the silence and our shared inheritance from the settlement. It was a cold, hard confirmation. Liam hadn't just been protecting our parents' legacy. He was an active participant, benefiting directly from their crime. The betrayal was deeper, more insidious than I had ever imagined. My own brother, complicit in such darkness. The weight of it all crushed me. Everything I thought I knew about my family, about Liam, about myself, crumbled. I spent days in a fog, barely eating, barely sleeping. Who was I if my entire foundation was built on such a lie? My parents, my brother, the people I loved most were monsters. I felt a profound identity crisis, a deep, aching wound in my soul. The silence of the house pressed in on me, a constant reminder of the monstrous treachery. Then a quiet anger began to burn, slowly replacing the despair. This wasn't just about truth anymore, it was about justice. It was about vengeance for the victims, for the years of lies, for the way Liam had gaslighted and manipulated me. My quest for justice transformed into an unyielding mission. I would not just uncover the truth, I would expose it devastatingly and publicly. My family's facade, Liam's comfortable life, all of it would fall. I started a new, secret operation. I bought a secure laptop, a hidden hard drive. Every piece of evidence, every altered document, every email from Liam, every phone call record was meticulously scanned, photographed, and documented. I created timelines, cross-referenced names, built an undeniable case brick by painstaking brick. This was my sanctuary, my quiet war room. Every click, every file saved was a step towards reclaiming my sanity and the truth. Finding the descendants of the victims was the hardest part. It felt like opening old wounds, but I knew I had to. I drafted a careful, empathetic letter explaining who I was and what I had found. My hand trembled as I sent the first email. It was a terrifying step, reaching out to strangers, but it was also a profound moment of connection. I was offering them not just a story, but a chance for closure, for justice, for peace. Now I stand at the precipice. The dossier is complete. The victims' families have been contacted. Some are ready to stand with me. My finger hovers over the send button, ready to unleash the full, monstrous truth to the world. There will be consequences, a public reckoning that will shatter our family's name, destroy Liam's life, and perhaps forever change mine. It is a bittersweet moment. The relief of being free from the secret is immense, but the cost, the pain of this final act is a heavy burden. Yet, I know this is the only path to true peace, to finally reclaiming my life and honoring the truth.